You wake up not to a blaring alarm, but to the soft rustle of leaves and the gentle warmth of dawn filtering through a natural shelter. Your muscles are relaxed, your mind clear. No urgent deadlines, no emails, no commute. For countless generations, this was your reality. For 99% of human history, your body and mind were perfectly synchronized with the rhythms of the natural world, a world where survival demanded keen observation and profound intelligence. You might believe your ancestors were simple, brutish cave dwellers, struggling endlessly for existence. But what if that popular image is a profound misunderstanding? What if the Stone Age was an era of astonishing intellectual sophistication, complex social structures, and an ingenuity that would shock you today? Consider your modern brain, a marvel of cognitive power. Do you ever wonder how much of its capacity was forged not in the digital age, but in the deep past? Researchers like Dr. Bruce Lan at the University of Chicago have studied genes like microcephalin, linked to brain size, revealing rapid evolutionary changes that shaped human cognition long before recorded history. Your ancestors weren't just physically adapting, their minds were exploding with new possibilities. Think about the first time you tried to start a fire without matches. Difficult, wasn't it? Your ancient ancestor could conjure a flame from friction in minutes, a skill passed down and perfected over millennia. They understood the properties of wood, tinder, and air currents with an intuitive mastery that modern survivalists spend years trying to reclaim. How many of those intricate daily skills have you lost? Or what about language? You might imagine early human communication as a series of grunts and basic gestures. But Dr. Noam Chomsky's work on universal grammar suggests an innate human capacity for complex language, implying that our ancestors likely possessed far more sophisticated linguistic abilities than we often credit them with. How else could intricate knowledge of plants, animal behaviors, and tool-making processes have been transmitted so effectively across generations? Imagine trying to explain the precise flaking technique for an obsidian blade using only grunts. It simply wouldn't work. Your Stone Age ancestor navigated vast, featureless landscapes with an internal compass and a memory far more developed than your smartphone's GPS. They could read the subtle signs of animal trails, decipher weather patterns from cloud formations, and recall the exact location of water sources or edible plants across hundreds of miles. Studies of modern indigenous peoples, such as those by ethnographer Hugh Brody, reveal an astonishing depth of environmental knowledge, demonstrating a cognitive map-making ability that puts modern reliance on digital aids to shame. What forgotten navigational powers does your own brain still hold? Now, let's reconstruct a scene. You are walking across the savannah, perhaps 300,000 years ago. Not alone, but with your small foraging group. Your eyes scan the horizon, your ears pick up the distant call of a bird, and your nose catches the faint scent of rain. You point to a specific type of plant, indicating its edibility and where to find more. Another member of your group gestures towards a faint footprint, identifying the species and its recent path. Decisions about where to hunt, where to find shelter, and when to move on are made collectively, based on a shared, deeply nuanced understanding of your environment. This isn't just survival, it's a symphony of shared intelligence. Then there's the art. Look at the stunning cave paintings of Chauvet and Lascaux, dating back tens of thousands of years. These aren't crude stick figures, they are masterpieces of perspective, movement, and anatomical accuracy. Paleolithic art scholar Jean Clot spent decades studying these ancient galleries, revealing not just artistic skill, but complex symbolic thought, spiritual beliefs, and even early forms of narrative. Your ancestors weren't just drawing what they saw, they were expressing abstract ideas, rituals, and their connection to the spiritual world. Is your own artistic expression any more profound? And consider the tools they crafted. Not just crude stone axes, but incredibly sophisticated spear throwers called atlatls, allowing hunters to propel projectiles with astounding force and accuracy. Or the microliths, tiny, razor-sharp blades that were carefully hafted into bone or wood handles to create complex composite tools like sickles or barbed spears. Archaeologist John Shea's research into early tool technology emphasizes the level of planning, fine motor control, and understanding of material properties required for such innovations. This wasn't accidental discovery, it was deliberate, iterative engineering. Perhaps the most counterintuitive truth is about their social lives. Modern society often champions individualism and hierarchy. But for most of human history, your ancestors thrived in remarkably egalitarian societies. Anthropologist Richard Lee's 1963 study of the Kung San, a modern hunter-gatherer group, highlighted their emphasis on sharing, cooperation, and the active suppression of arrogance or dominance. There was no king, no ruling class, no permanent hierarchy. Decisions were made by consensus, and resources were distributed broadly. This wasn't utopian idealism, it was a highly effective strategy for group survival. Does your modern workplace foster such deep cooperation? Even their healthcare was surprisingly advanced. Evidence from archaeological sites shows early humans caring for the sick, setting broken bones, and even performing complex surgeries like trepanation, drilling holes into the skull, which some individuals survived. Plant remains found near burials suggest a deep knowledge of medicinal herbs. You weren't left to die if you were injured, your community would actively support your recovery. They understood interdependence in a way many of us have forgotten. So, the image of your dim-witted, struggling ancestor is far from accurate. They were artists, engineers, navigators, linguists, and social innovators, living lives rich with meaning, connection, and intellectual challenge. They understood the world around them with a depth that often escapes your modern, specialized existence. You wake up when your body is ready. Perhaps, just perhaps, that instinct for rest, for connection, for understanding the wild world, is not a luxury, but an echo. An echo of the hidden brilliance that resides deep within your Stone Age mind.